Okay, so using the same file we've been using, we want to come down here and click on this worksheet tab for Excel Activity 3. And there are several skills that can be learned with this particular worksheet. The one that I've highlighted down here is to auto fit all column widths. Now again, this was intended to be done on a desktop, so we're going to have to do it slightly different with this. So what we're going to do is we can come over here and double click on the border of each one of these columns. And again, I think we have to do this individually. I think we, in a previous video, I think we determined that you cannot select all of these and have them auto fit. But we're going to find out. So come over here to select all by clicking on this little area right here of this button. And then I'm going to come over here and double click on the right border of column A header. And then when I double click, that does indeed auto fit all of the text to the width of the longest line in each column. All right, so there's some other things that we're going to learn to do here, some very good skills. Now we want to go back while it's on our mind, and I want to select cells A1 through E1, and we're going to use this merge and center feature that we've used previously. It's under the Home tab and under the alignment group. So you click merge and center, and then you do that again to the cells that are on row 2. Now you have to do these individually, because if you tried selecting both of these at the same time, it would try to merge all of this into one big cell, and because you've already got text in both of these, that would really mess up your alignment, and you may run into that in the future. But just remember, if you're going to merge and center something together, only one cell can have text in it. If you got text in more than one cell, it's not going to work correctly. So the next thing we're going to do is to come up here under this loan enforcement, under here, click on this cell, and again we want to go under cell styles, and here we want to put a title format on that again, and then we want to come over here on row 2 and select that cell, and then this time we want to put a different format on that, and you may want to kind of experiment with what some of these different ones do. You could try a heading 1, and you can see that heading 1 does change the appearance, and it is a little bit smaller. And again, I really don't care which one of these you use. I just want you to use one of these cell styles. Now the next thing I want to show you is I want to click somewhere here in this table, and this particular set of data right here, it does not contain any numbers that we're going to add up or do any math problems. We just want to be able to filter and sort data. So this is an actual table. So what we want to do is, once we have clicked anywhere inside this table, if we come up under the Home tab and go to Format as Table, it's going to load these different table styles. And you've got several different options that you can select. And if you look at this, you've got information. You've got a table that's got a header row in it. So where it says last, first, employee ID, job title, phone, those are your headers. And usually your header is going to be a darker shade or a different color than the data that's in the table. So if you look right here, for example, we have under this medium style, we've got this table. This is a medium style 5. Actually, it's blue table style medium 6 is what they officially call it. And I'm just going to use this one and apply it. And here it's going to ask, my table has headers. It's asking you, does your table have headers? And it's also detecting correctly that the data that is in cells A4 to E20 should be part of the table. So all of this is correct. So then all you got to do is to click OK. Now, when you do this, Microsoft Excel is going to format this as a table. And there's a couple things that we want to do to this information. First of all, we want, in this case, we want all of these in this phone number field We actually want these to align at the right, because these over here that start with an X, that is short for extension. So what happens a lot of time in a business, the way their phones are set up, are that you could just pick up a phone and dial an extension, and that phone number is tied in directly to that main system. But then if you see another phone number over here, that means that you have to actually dial a complete separate phone number. So what we want to do is, if you click on this header for row E, and this will select everything in this column, and then you can come over here under the alignment group and select to align at the right. And then what you could do is you could come back on this one cell right here, actually just come over here on row 4, and basically do the same thing and align it at the center as well. So now that you've done that, then the next thing that you would be able to do with this is you can use these buttons right here to sort and filter the data using whatever criteria you want. So for example, if you wanted to sort all of these, since this is an employee roster, you might want to sort this in order of the last name. What you could do is you could come over here and click this button that's on the last name field, and you can click it. And if you want to sort it in ascending, what that does is, if you're sorting fields that has text in it, it'll sort it to AZ. So as you see here, if you look at this button right here, it's got A on top of Z, and the arrow points down. So this will sort this in ascending order. So I'm going to just click that and show it to you, and see how all of these last name fields, how they're now sorted by last name, and all of the other information is sorted with it. So it's taken all of this and it's sorting it based upon the last name field. And now if you look at this button right here, you can actually see that this button has this arrow on it, which indicates that this is sorted in ascending order. Now, what if you wanted to sort it in ascending order by first name? Well, you would come over here and do the same thing, but when you do this, notice it takes off the sorting by last name, and now everything is sorted in ascending order by first name. Now, the reason I thought it was good to show you this is what happens if you sort it by, and typically you know that names are sorted first by last name and then by first name. So let me go back and put this on and show it to you. I want to sort this in ascending order by first name or by last name again. And let's see if any of these names are pretty close together in spelling. Now down here you've got White and you've got Whitmore. So let's do this. Let's say that Whitmore was not Whitmore. Let's say Whitmore was actually White. So I'm going to change the spelling of the name. And now when I sort this in ascending order, notice how nothing changes, but notice that, because both of these now have the same last name, they still are not in ascending order, because Olivia does not come before Kenneth, because K comes before O. So what you could do here is you would have to go under you have to do this a little bit different. Here you can come over here and you could click on this arrow, but then you see where it says custom sort. So what you have to do is I want you to click on custom sort, and it's asking you, how do you want to sort this? So first you want to sort it by last name in ascending order, but then you want to add a level to this. And then you want to add the first name field to this and sort it in ascending order. So then you would click OK. And when you do this, nothing changes because it was already sorted in ascending order other than these last two names. But now notice how Kenneth is on top of Olivia. And of course you could also sort by employee ID number if that's what you wanted to do. You can also sort by job title if that's what you wanted to do. And there's a lot of other things that you can do with this type of information, but that's the most basic. And that is going to be it for this particular activity. So please save your changes, and now we're going to move on to the next activity.